All right. Okay. Thank you, everyone. Again, thank you for joining. As you all know, LMS ni ULearn kita lah. So today I'm going to actually share a few things. Apa itu the basic? Okay. Now let me start with the outcomes. So the first thing is for you to understand how to implement Blend. Okay, if you go to PSTP web page, PSTP, you can find those information here. Muat turun ya, sumber muat turun ini. If English, then you find almost the same at the same menu, and then you can klik this muat turun for dasar dan garis panduan pembelajaran. Okay, once you download this one, then you'll be able to read the keliling about blended. So let me quickly open the document. This one, Pekeliling dan garis panduan pembelajaran UTM. So inilah panduan you. Selagi tak berubah, then you follow this guideline. Okay, since all of you are from engineering, so blended status yang you have to implement in your course is called supportive blended, which is 30% of the course content will be delivered in blended. Okay, how do you count all these items and this percentage? Daripada mana? Any response? What did you get this percentage? Ada jawapan? Dr. Mawarni, Dr. Najib, Dr. Muhammad Inam, Abbasi. Do you know where can you get this? The information of the percentage. Oops. Scan.
Not sure. Doctor.
Not sure.
Yeah, because I know from the beginning that we have to achieve 30%, but I'm not sure.
30%, yes.
Yeah.
For
sure how and
engineering.
why we have to, I have no idea.
You have no idea. Now I will let you know that all of this will be calculated from this SLT, the learning hours. If let's say your course is about 3 credits, so the hours student learning time SLT is like 3 times. How much? 3 times? If your course is 3 credits, the SLT will be 3 times 40 hours, meaning the total number of student learning time will be 120. And out of this 120, you take 30% portion of 30% and make it as blended. That's how you calculate that 30%. So the what we call within this 30%, we have to divide this 30% into 5% information, 40% content or resources, 35% activities, and another 20% for assessment. This is a must. I mean, you have to meet this 30% requirement. For engineering, 30% blended. You have to fulfill this, yeah? And this is not replace, will never replace that particular content. It's just to support You still have to do the, as a manual, a conventional way of teaching, but this is just to maybe support your course. 30% of out of 30, 100%, 30% will be delivered in blended. So that's how you calculate the blended status. So where am I? Okay.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi.
Waalaikumsalam. Yes.
Saya cuma nak highlight kat sini. Saya baru lepas FKP baru
Yeah.
lepas present the teaching plan.
Yeah.
Kami tak nampak usaha ataupun panduan lah daripada pihak pengurusan untuk terapkan SLT ni berkenaan dengan direct blended learning. Halnya tentang SLT.
What do you
Maksudnya
mean direct
bila
blended
dia check
learning?
SLT,
Uh,
dia cuma fikir cukup tak 120 tu kan masa. Tapi dia tak faham, bukan tak faham, tak ada panduan bahawa macam mana kami nak adapt dalam SLT tu.
Okay, I'll let you know how. That in the guideline, guideline from the university just now here. Now you need to meet all the minimum items. First is the one item for your syllabus planner, study planner, whatever you call it, teaching plan. So one item, and then you have to also have 7 items uploaded for contents, which is equal to 40%. It can be your chapters, PDF, PowerPoints, video links, anything that considered as resources. Then you have to upload at least 7 items. And for activities, there are 2 ways of activities: synchronous or asynchronous. So if it's synchronous, then will be webinar, some like a chat. And then if asynchronous, like discussion, activity, feedback, these activities, minimum item is 3. And then lastly is the assessment. 2 items only for assessment, either quiz, assignment, journal, case study. So this guideline, you can just open the guideline from PSTP web. You can get it from PSTP website, and this is the minimum items that you actually have to fulfill. Once you've upload all this, PSTP the system automatically will recognize all these items, and then you will meet this minimum 30% blended. That's all you need to know. You are different from non-engineering, because non-engineering, they can go up to 80%, but as in engineering, you just have to fulfill 30%. Boleh? Is that answering your question?
30% is the minimum one, right?
Yes, minimum. Second one is to understand how to create and organize your course content in ULearn. I hope all of you have already accessed ULearn and you already have your course in the ULearn. Each settings, semuanya on your left hand side. Okay. If you can see on your left hand side, you can actually hide or unhide these things like upcoming events, latest announcement, navigation, administration, activities. All this you can hide or unhide. So if you want to go to course settings, then you can go to the administration. So let's go to administration. So this one, course administration. Now, if you click edit settings, this is your course settings. Okay, again, administration. On your left hand side, find a word called edit settings. So in here is all the information about the course settings. So now remember, as I told you before, final exam also have this kind of settings, which you can actually start your course date and end your course date. Let's say in final exam you have to make sure the date is correct, the time is correct. For example, the in here the system will only capture 24-hour system, so you have to be careful with the time, because we have few cases when the lecturer wrongly put the hours for the exam, final exam whatsoever, because let's say you put 4, means it will start at 4 o'clock in the morning, meaning students who sleep late, then they can access the final exam. Yeah, this is not good for us. So hopefully you will understand the course settings. Where can you find this course setting later on? And also you can add some description if you want. The rest, it's just what you call. I hope you never have a problem, but better leave the settings as this default setting. For now, we are trying to reduce some settings, but we'll look into the requirement, the minimum requirement that or minimum settings that you might need. But we've reduced some, but not all of them. So just leave the settings as the default setting. Next will be users. So where can we find users? In which menu? Navigation, administration, or activities? Anyone? As I told you, all settings will be on the left hand side. So the users also will be on your left hand side under administration. So click administration, unhide it if it's suddenly hidden, and then you unhide it. You can find one word called users. So in users, you can find few other menus like enrolled users or enrollment methods. So enrolled users meaning all the users already enrolled. But this one, enrollment methods. So by right, you might have this self-enrollment. But if let's say you want to put a key to this enrollment, then you have to click this gear button. Wait, let me show it again. This one. First, you click this enrollment methods. This is how the student will be able to access or enroll, sorry, not access, but first to enroll himself into the course. You have to, click this self-enrollment gear icon. This self-enrollment, in self-enrollment, you can actually choose your own enrollment key if you want. If not, by default, student can just enroll your course. Whoever they are, if they're in the system, they can enroll your course. Anyone, even your colleague, can enroll the course, or your dean. If let's say your dean want to enroll your course, he can also do that. So if you want only your own students, not from other students, join to your class, you better put this enrollment key. Just enter whatever key that you might want to use, then just fill in there and then save it. Okay. For manual enrollment, it's also the settings for manual. Do you want to enable manual enrollment or not? Then you can change the setting here as well. So this is enroll users. So if let's say you want to enroll user, you can click this one. Let's say that student don't know how to enroll your class, then you have to click first enrolled user and then find something here called enroll users. And search and assign it as what? Student. Yeah, of course, student. So that's how you can enroll the user. Okay. But if let's say the student don't it's not in the system, then you have to let us know that then we can add the student into the system. Otherwise, you will not be able to enroll that student. Good. Any question about enroll student? I think you're aware how to do that, and I hope you know by heart how to enroll your students. The most important, I mean, not most important, but one important thing is grouping. Has anyone tried grouping before? This grouping? You know how to do the grouping? Yes? No? No response?
Pernah.
Pernah. Good. Now, for those who don't know, is there anyone never tried the grouping before?
No.
No. Good. I will show you how. Now,
Is it compulsory, necessary to group the students?
It's up to you, but I suggest from PSTP, from our point of view, it is necessary to create grouping so that you are aware which students are, MIA or never choose their group, because the grouping is like you create a group, a few groups, and then either ask them to join or choose from the group choice, or you can assign them manually. By doing that, you know which group is active, which group is not active, which student is missing in action. Let's say the student never choose their group, so then you understand, there's something wrong with this student, so you have to do something.
So this is different from student section. This is group like
This is inside. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Inside your course, let's say they have group project, for example, then you can create this group and then ask them to choose which groups. I'll show you how. First is either you create manually or you can auto create groups. If you want to auto create groups, by first go to groups here, click, and then let me show you again. Click groups, and then you will see this window. Now under here, there's one button called auto create groups. By auto creating groups, you can put how much groups you want automatically. Let's say the naming convention here, like GP is the group, and then alias will be the number of the group. Let's say I want to create 3 GP, then group messaging no, select members with role or students only. Select members from group means if let's say you already have group for project and then you want to use that group project as an assignment group assignment, you can also include the which members in the group to be in your group. But since you are doing auto groups, then better put none, and then allocation for members. If you want the student to choose their own group, put no allocation. If you want to randomly assign them to the group, then you put random, but let's put a no allocation. Okay, so I think that will be default. Submit. So you can see here GPA BC. If you want to put number, then you put hashtag, I guess. But alias will be the A, B, and C, D. Okay, this is your groups we already created just now. Now, this is only the groups. The way to create manually is simple. You just click create group, this one, and then give a name. If let's say just now GP ABC, you put GPD, and then this is will be default. If you want to put enrollment key, it's fine, up to you. And then save changes. Now in here, you will see A, B, C, D. All of them are empty. But here we have members in there. How are we going to add members in there? As I told you, I use group choice. So where can I add this group choice? Anyone?
Not sure.
Not sure. Okay, now if you go back to your courses, there will be a few tiles, right? In here, if you scroll down in your course, you will see few things like general info, who I am, teaching plan, group, blah, blah, blah. Here in this group section, we want you to create this group choice. So that your student will be able to choose their own group. But of course, you cannot edit now. You have to turn the editing on. You can see this icon. Every gears icon meaning you can modify the settings. Click this gear icon. Click turn editing on. Then you can add your activity or anything, assignment, whatever. Okay, go back to the group and add an activity. Yeah, and then from here you can see activities like assignment, attendance, choice. And then
Group choice.
group choice. This is the option. Group choice, click add. Now in this group choice, you might give a name like project group project, whatever project, I don't know, just group project. Maybe this is the name. Then please put some description, because students sometimes they don't know, is this for maybe this is good for assignment. And then this group is for your
Group project.
assignment, maybe assignment. Yeah, okay. Display this description. Allow enrollment to multiple groups. If you really insist, then you can allow them to enroll any groups, but multiple groups. Publish result. Yeah, I always publish the result to my students. Privacy, publish full result. Show names, it's fine. Yeah, allow choice to be updated. Sometimes I put yes, maybe they want to change. I don't want them to call me every time I want to change the group. Show column for unanswered default. Limit the number of response allowed. Maybe this is a limitation. Maybe you want to limit the number of participants that can select each choice option. Okay, so let's put
Dr. Adeli, nak tanya, this is in term of groups yang 5, 4, 5 students. Kalau yang section tu, betul lah yang 60 orang kan, 60 people student. So that one grouping also atau macam mana
That one I guess that one I think I need to ask Azmi. Azmi ada sini, because that one is from PPPK. So
Okay.
Azmi ada tak?
Ya, saya.
So the grouping tu memang dia in group ke atau tak?
Group yang mana?
Yang section.
Group section macam section 1 group 1.
Yeah. Yeah. It's that one.
Group assignment. Kalau untuk group assignment,
That one section 1 group 1 S1G1 S1G2 tu ni.
boleh buat dalam, kira nak create dalam group ke apa?
Bukan. By default we create that S1G1 S1G2 tu. Betul tak ni? Daripada PPPK kan. Oh, for that only for final exam portal ni ya?
Ya, betul.
Yes, that is also grouping. Yeah.
But not
that,
in ULearn.
No, not in ULearn. Sorry for that. Yes, I remember now. We have two systems here, final exam and ULearn. ULearn, we don't have that option. But if you insist want to create the group, then you can do or create the group choice.
Under the group choice lah, kalau kita nak buat.
Yeah. Okay.
In terms of attendance, kalau let's say we have like 200 over student, right?
Oh yeah.
Some people suggest that we create this sectioning in the attendance to make it easier to check for attendance.
Yeah, that's true. Attendance is also good. If you have grouping, then it's good for your attendance. Ada satu lah, the activity called attendance. I'll show you in a bit. But let's do the grouping and finish the grouping. So once we put all the settings, then add the groups that you would like to put in, and then apply to all groups. See, when you click apply to all groups, the number of participants will be list here 5. Okay, and then the rest will be if you really want to put restriction, then it's up to you. There are a few restrictions here, or you can restrict. Sometimes the lecturer want to, once you complete this assignment, then you can join or create select your next group choice or certain date, or if you pass certain number or grade, that you'll be grade automatically in the system. After you pass this, then you can click or choose your group. You can set that. But the most important thing that I would like to highlight here is like the completion. So the good things about completion is like whenever you put, let's say, the completion show activity as completed when conditions are met, show as complete when user makes a choice. This is important for you to now monitor your students who already finished that particular task. How many of my students never even click this group of choice? Then you really have to put activity completion, not only for grouping, all of them, like assignments, activities, even for your resources like PDF or presentation slides. The different activities might be having different activity completion. That's why if you put the restriction here, you might want them to complete certain tasks before they will be able to do another task. So I will show you later where you can monitor all of your students' activity. Now click save and display now. Here. So as a student, you will see this group of choice, like this window. If they choose this one and then save my choice, then the student name will be in here, and then your choice have been saved, and this is your, if you want to show the group members, then it will be there. Any questions so far? Okay, I think that's all for the groups. Now, you might ask, just now you asked about attendance, right? So now let me show you the attendance. So if, let's say, yeah, I've created one here, but you might put it anywhere in here. Maybe if you want to put in a group, then you just click add and then add activity as usual. Click add an activity and then find what called attendance. So by creating this attendance, you actually ask your student to fill in the attendance online. Add new attendance to the group section. Yeah, now this is not graded one, so maybe no restriction. Just leave it as default, save and display. Let's see what are the settings in this attendance. So look, you need, first of all, it will be empty, of course. You have to add your own session. There are tab called add sessions. This one is the important thing, what do you call, setting. So you need to add multiple session, or you just want to add session. If you want to add multiple session, then you can just click repeat the session, maybe on Monday, Tuesday, or I don't know, maybe you want to repeat every Monday on each week. Repeat until it's finished. Like, let's say, I don't know when, maybe June, whatever, and then you just click add and it will repeat every Monday for that particular session. If let's say lecture, then you add this one. So the session, of course, you have to put some description here. So date from maybe today, and then the time will be, let's say, 10 a.m. to 11 or so, or 12. And then you put, if you lecture, then you put lecture. Allow students to record attendance. If you want to do automatic marking, then you have to use this QR code. If you don't want automatic marking, just disable. Student will do it by themselves by default. You have to do it, or click the attendance. If you want to random password, it's like you have to create a random password here, but last time I never put any password. Just let them be honest with me. So I don't want them to call me again asking about password. That's why I just tell them be honest and then please fill in your attendance. Prevent students sharing IP address. So no, this is the what do you call restriction we give to the student. So just add. So you student can see these things. Let's check the settings again. So I couldn't find any groups in here. So yeah. This is status for the student if they attend or late, but this is group. Okay, export. So I've never tried this group before because this is the like exporting. So the student will fill in, but after that they will export. You will export the attendance, and you get it in terms of Excel format. So all students will fill in, but you get the attendance sheet based on what do you call a group if you want, if you already create group section 1, section 2, something like that. So it's just by right the student can click what is the session. Okay, where is the session again? Here. And then you can download all the attendance based on the group. Okay, so you don't need to do that grouping thing. It's already in the group. The students already in their group. So if you want to download and export the attendance, you can export based on groups if you want. That is the settings that we have in ULearn so far. But usually I download all students. That's what I'll do. But let's say you have few, lecturers, different sections in groups. That will be handy. Okay.
Dr. Ali,
Yeah.
group setting, is it a fixed setup? I mean, is it fixed?
Group settings.
All week session? Because
Sorry.
now I've seen you use some setting which based on weekly, right? I mean, you select. So
if you want to add session, as I showed you just now, it's like I'm going to, automatically create the session every Monday, 10 to 12. Now, if you have few other sessions, let's say lab session, you have to add a new session. Maybe that lab session is always will be on Wednesday, not on Wednesday. Yeah, maybe on Wednesday every week. So you have to put multiple session, repeat every Wednesday.
So it means that it is not fixed.
No, yeah, you decide what day, what time, and every week. If you have 2 sessions every week, then you have to, maybe tick another day, Monday and Wednesday.
The beauty things by having this kind of settings, so then we can randomize with question, right? It's very nice. Thank you, doctor.
All right, always. Okay, now we've done the grouping and attendance as well. Then now, yeah, this one. This is import, export. Oops, my battery is draining so quick. Okay, wait. I think I haven't shown you one more thing, which is the export and import the last semester's contents. So let me show you next how to export and import the content. So by having this in export and import, you don't need to do much. You just export all the previous contents and then restore it in your current ULearn course. So how to do that? As I told you, it's easy. Every settings will be on your left hand side, unless the activity settings will be on the right hand side. So the settings for you to download the set contents of this course is on your left hand side. Find word called administration and backup. Yeah, click administration and then click backup. So by having this backup, actually you can export every single contents in your last semester. If you even have a question bank, you can export this question bank and import this question into your ULearn current ULearn course. So how to do that? Simply go to administration, click backup, and this is the window for the settings. You want to include enrolled users? Maybe not. And then activities? Yes, of course. Blah, 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 blah. You choose. Question banks, yeah. Make sure groupings, maybe same group or not. Maybe not. If I have custom fields I want to include in, then yes, tick that. Then next, after that, the system will ask you to now, are you sure to include this attendance? Because I have attendance and everything. Oh wait, I know what happened. This is only for the attendance. Sorry. If you want the whole contents, you want to backup whole contents, you have to go back to the course name. Here, like me, BITM 2213, then you can click the backup. So that one just now is only for attendance because I'm in window attendance. But for the whole course, I mean whole contents of the course, then you have to go back to the name of the course, click that, and then find the same thing called backup. Same menu, backup. Yes, now you'll be having all those option again, but this time will be much more. If you press next, then we'll be having more, things like attendance you want, or maybe you don't want this. Now, what are the things that you want to include? Maybe my assessment, of course, yeah, week I'm to 14, yeah. Maybe week 14 I have a new, version. So I just untick because I want to do my own one. So then press next, and then you can perform a backup after that. After you are very, sure about the contents, then just click perform backup. Then the system will create a backup file for you to download. So if you've done that step, then if you click by right, the system will navigate and direct you to this part where you can actually download your backup. Because I haven't performed my backup just now, I've already done mine, so I have it in my list. So maybe let's say this is the file, then just click download, and when you press download, you can see the .mbz is the format for the backup. Now you are ready to import all these contents into the new ULearn course. Just drag and drop. Just go in administration, click restore option, and then find this window. You can drag and drop the file to restore all those contents, okay? Or you can click here to choose that backup file. Cool. Any questions?
Dr. Ali, I'm sorry, I don't really get your explanation now. This is anyhow, this is very nice features. So this is the features for
to restore all your contents.
Oh, to
in
restore.
the previous semesters. Let's say in the previous semester you have, let's say you want to reuse the contents
for next semester.
Yes. Then the way you don't need to curate and create every single thing that you've done in the previous 2 semesters. So now the quick way is to restore everything back. So the way to do that is do a backup, download the backup, and then restore in your current ULearn course.
You mean it will automatically restore for instance, this is a semester 2 2020 21, right? So it will automatically restore in every weekly session, right?
Yes,
I see.
But sometimes maybe it can happen if, let's say, there's something wrong with the backup, then might be in a different section or whatever, but you have to tweak that later.
So then we have manually adjust.
Yeah, but that's rarely happens. But if that things happen, at least you have your previous contents, and then you don't need to create everything again or upload everything again, because everything is now
very nice.
In
Thank
the
you,
system.
Mr.
Okay, cool. Welcome. Okay, now next is question bank. Okay, now again, the question bank, or as I told you, settings will be on your left hand side. So I will show you how you can import like questions from only Notepad, maybe with all the answers into ULearn. But first, the things that you need to know is about how you manage the question bank. Because usually what we will do is like, let's say you have a midterm test. So usually what we'll do, or some of the lecturers do, they just go to assessment and then they start creating their quiz. This is for, let's say, midterm. But if, let's say, you want to make it much more, you know, in a very good organization and structure, you have to go to first, again, click your course and then administration option, choose question bank. Click this one. So in this question bank, you will see few things like questions, categories, import, export. Let's go to the categories, because the categories is actually where you structure your questions. For example, I have here midterm, instructions, listening tests, objectives. So let's say I have a midterm, but I'll show you how you can create. Let me remove all these. First, instructions, listening tests, objectives. And then, yeah, maybe because I have one question there, but yeah. Let's say this is your category. I want to create new category for my midterm question. So what I need to do is first create a category. Maybe you want to put it on top as a parent. So it's like a parent and child kind of structure. It's very easy. I put here midterm. Can you do it with me? If you can, just follow me. So this is the midterm, will be the parent. I will create the child, let's say instruction, and then part A, part B, part C, if you want to do that, because this is will be much more easier for you later on, and it will also help you to, you know, create your final exam question later. It will be this almost the same thing as creating the final exam question. So now let's create this category. If you want to put information, then you can do so. Now click add category, and on top of these course I should have now my midterm. Next thing I need to do is create a child. Okay, for midterm. So again, go to question categories, find my parent, which is now midterm. Maybe I want to start with some instruction. Okay, so it should be under this category now. Add category. It will be empty, of course. 0 means empty, but it's under my midterm. But if, let's say, suddenly you wrongly put it here, then you can use this arrow to move it and becoming a child of this midterm. You can move it up as well, down, if you wrongly created it. Okay, then let's say you want to create a new section under midterm called part A. Then please put information about part A. Maybe this is part. This is a part for objective question. Maybe, yep. You have to put some. Yeah. So it's under midterm instruction. The first category, the second is part A, and the other one is part B. midterm part B. This is the part 4. Structured questions. Add category. Here, so one instruction, part A, part B. If you have part C, then you can create that as well. Now, okay, in instruction, you can just click the instruction just now. So, as I told you, go to back to categories. So we want to create questions under this, set, midterm question set. You just need to click this instruction. Click these instructions and then add or create a new question, which is not a question basically. It's just if you go down, if you click that, you go down on your left hand side, will be called menu item called description. This is where you tell your students what the questions about, like in this midterm test there are 2 parts, then you put part A, objective, let's say 30 questions, random question. Part B, so maybe essay questions. Okay, now you have this description and then save changes. So in your instruction will be now 1 item. Good. You now have this instruction. In part A, you want to add questions. Now I will show you how you can do it quickly by, let's say you want to import question that you already created in, let's say, Notepad. You can also import question from Word, but you have to follow the structure or the format. So where can you get that? You can go to Start menu and then find the option User Manual. In this User Manual, you will see a lot of things, but the things that we are looking for here, one is called Create and Manage Quiz. But I don't want to try with this Microsoft Word. You try this by yourself. If you have, let's say, few images, then you better use Microsoft Word format or template. But if you can just click quiz template for Word, then you can download it and you'll start putting the question in the Word and import it. But I would like to use this sample quiz, very plain quiz, like objective questions. So click this sample quiz to download the sample questions. So once you download it, you can now check. This is the template questions. So the questions will be divided in few, let's say, objective and true false question. And now the answer will be at the bottom of the question. If you have, you don't need to put numbering, just put the question and the choice for the answer and then the correct answer. Same goes to the rest. For true or false, you can use only this. True, false, okay? Now, let's go back to our question bank just now. Where's my question bank categories? Click question bank categories here. This is under user manual. Wait, my course question bank categories. Now in these categories I just created instructions, but now I want to import all those questions in part A. So click part A and import. So by importing the questions, every single questions will be in here. Let's say if you have like 50 questions, you want to do random question of objective 20 out of 50 questions. So it's easy to create the questions in either Word or plain text and import them here. Click import. So my format is icon format. You have other formats as well, but I'm using just plain text question. And then choose a file. Just, you know what, just drag and drop. Okay, it's here. Drag and drop. There you go. Now click import. Next screen will be the question itself. What let's say the system will say, you know, passing questions, and all of them are 11 questions. These are the questions. Do you want to continue? And you'll say yes, I would like to continue. Now in part A, I have already now 11 questions. So this is the question bank. It's not yet in your let's say midterm test yet. You have to create that midterm test and then import this question from the question bank. So how are you going to create that midterm test? As usual, you go back to your course and go under the assessment and create one activity. Then you can import the question. Okay, under assessment, add activity. This is quiz activity, of course, because although it's a midterm, but the format's like a quiz format. So just click this quiz, add. Now you will say, hey system, this is my midterm test. So put some instruction. Dear students, please answer all questions. It's up to you. Just put a simple one. Now make sure you know the timing. Make sure the timing's right. When you want to open the quiz, close the quiz, you can put time limit as well. Let's say you want to put 60 minutes, but you want to open it in few weeks, maybe up to end of the month. Then when time expires, submit them automatically. Grade is up to you. Attempts, of course, you can decide. Maybe only one attempt. It's a midterm. So the layout is every question. This is good. Question behavior. Shuffle, yeah, so that it will be random and then shuffle. And also maybe extra restriction. I don't think it's required, but as I told you, this one either restrict access or activity completion, because restriction sometimes if your student never attend the class, you can put restriction so that you can say you have to complete certain tasks before you can join or answer my midterm test. And then the activity completion, show activity as completed if student must view or maybe receive grade, maybe you want manual grade in the system, or it's up to you. Now click save and display. Here you already have your quiz. It's time to edit the quiz, where you need to add from your question bank. So once you created your midterm test, it's time to add the question, otherwise the quiz will be empty. So the first one, you want to, you know, put the instruction, of course, right? But the instruction is from midterm instruction, not any other instruction. Like here I have few instruction. This is where categories are really important, because sometimes you want to do midterm test or you want to do quiz, so they'll be you'll be having different parent and child. Now click instruction. This is instruction. Tick this one, add selected questions to the quiz. So my question will be starting from instruction. Next will be add random questions. Yeah, add random questions. This one is just instruction. Now I want my questions to be in the midterm test. What you need to do is add, if you click from question bank, it will not be random. You can tick, you can choose, let's say 11 questions, but it will never be random. The easier way to random the question is just by add a random question. So the category, of course, in under midterm part A, and what number of questions, how many questions you want to random. Out of 11, maybe 5 questions. So you click add random question. So you see this icon is like dice icon. The system will find random question in this category part A. You can click to see the question if you want. So the question will be random out of these 11 questions. I don't know what, but it will be random. Okay, I don't know which question. Now it's good. You've done that. Then let's say you have a part B, but I don't want to go to part B. You can follow the same steps. Then put the maximum grade. If let's say 5 questions equal to 5 marks, then or 5%, then you put the maximum grade 5. If you want to have a different ratio, then put 10, 20, is up to you how much this test will carry. So you decide, let's say I decide 5, then save. Okay, now what you need to do is don't think that this step is done. You have to press preview. So we have 1 or 2 cases last time. The lecturer not even create a question like this. He just create a question in the question bank, but never insert the questions in that question. And this is the final exam, is not a midterm test. And also you never press preview. If you press this preview after you add all the questions, you are now, you know, you're under this section now, edit quiz. You click preview to preview the midterm test or the quiz. So this will be the preview, and the student will see the instruction first, and then you know, this is the correct one, because it will start with this one. Or you can go to assessment This is this one, I guess. So you might need to try start the attempt. You'll see here. If you click the quiz just now, you might be looking as a student. So you will be having the navigation page, instruction, as I told you in this midterm test, there are two parts, blah, blah, blah. And then this is the question 1 up to 5. It will be random.
Doctor, I have a question. Can we set the question so that the student cannot go to the previous page? They can only go one direction?
Yes, that's what I want to share now. Let's go to on your left hand side. It's called course administration.
Dr. Ed, quiz administration.
Sorry, quiz administration and edit settings, right?
Yes.
Not course, quiz. Sorry. Okay. Now the layout, not the layout. Can't remember. What is it?
Layout Somo. Layout
okay,
Somo.
under this, sorry. This is hidden because previously we've created a free navigation, but since there are few issues regarding the students always, have the way to put the questions in check G and then start doing their answering that or go to next question while waiting for the answer to be uploaded online. This is where you can put the change the navigation method from free navigation to sequential, so the student can only go to one direction instead of free navigation, and then save. Okay, so again, go to quiz administration, edit settings, and find word called layout, but you have to click show more because it's hidden, and then change your navigation method from free to sequential. By doing this, student will not be able to go to the next page unless he answer this question. Then he'll go to the next question. And make sure also your every new page will be every question, will not like 5 questions, 10 questions, unless you really insist want to have few questions at one page. Save and display. Okay. So yeah, I need to go to the next page. So now I cannot go back. I have to answer this one, otherwise I lose my time here. Okay, cool. Any questions regarding the quiz, question banks, assignment?
I have another question. How do we assess those quizzes? Is there an automatic way of getting the marks?
Yes, of course. Once you have the, what do you say, questions, and you ask the system to automatically grade or give marks to the question, the answer of the question, then you can get a result. So the way to get the result is, as usual, go to administration. Under quiz administration, you can see the result of the student, and then you can, let's say, show whoever attempted the quiz, and or you want something different like who have not attempted the quiz, but wait, yeah, this is the grades. So the grades will be marked since there are no students answering this question, then there'll be nothing to display, but by right, your students will have their marks after they start attempt and finish the quiz or midterm. Then you can click show report. From here, then you can download. If you want to download it, it will be from here, download essay submissions. And then question wise. And then press download. So then you can get all the. Can I check maybe one of my quiz? Maybe let's find one. So here, like if you have the what they call marks, then the marks will be in the grade section, and then you will be able to download this in CSV or Excel. So but you have to of course enroll the quiz. Yes, show report in progress, finish. Yeah, I have to untick this one. Test. What is this? This is a. I think this is not a real test. Final assessment maybe. Yeah. Oh yeah. I think this one. Edit results, grades. So you can see the attempts is here 51 attempts, and then the grade will be like this. I have questions, then the number of the marks, and this is the marks that you might interested in. Then download it. Okay, so you can download it straight away. You get their name, this one, that one, and also the question numbers and their marks. Cool. Any question? Any other questions? It's not a download essay submission. It's just here grades, and then download the grades for the particular question. For me, last time I used final assessment. Half of them in this format, and half will be project. Okay. What else? So yeah, I think I covered a few basic things in assessment. Now let's go to tiles. If you go to your course, then you will see few tiles. So these tiles is actually have been designed. So these tiles have been designed in this way. General info. Before that, maybe some announcements you want to make. But the tiles here is like general info, who am I, teaching plan, group, books, software and resources, assessment, week 1 until week 14. And this is the declaration page, but it's empty. Now at PSTP we will create or we will get the data of your particular course, because we need to do some reportings you have to then follow these tiles. Yeah, all these tiles, you should follow the tiles. Never, please don't change the tiles, because this is the section really important to us. The keywords here is really important, and also you have to really put the contents in a specific tiles. For example, in general info, you have to put the outcomes, synopsis, everything in here. And then in who am I, you have to introduce yourself. Some of the lecturers, they put Padlet here so that student also can introduce themselves. That's fine as well. And then teaching plan. This is your teaching plan, or you can put academic calendar, class timetable in here as well. But don't put somewhere else. Please put them under the specific tiles. And group, if you do grouping, please put in this group. Same goes to software or resources. Let's say for me, I have very important resources, software that I put in here. And assessment. Every single assessment, a graded assessment, graded activities, you should put them under assessment. The non-graded activities, then please put them under each week, or each week. Let's say week 2 you have different quiz, or this is just let's say just for the students to test themselves. Let's say I want to test you 5% of your knowledge, or any other assignment that is not graded. Then simple assignment, you can put it under here, under each week, but never put them in the graded one. Never put them under week section. Then in week, of course, you have, let's say, where is my week 8? Yeah, for example, you have week 8. You need to come up with a learning outcome. What are the outcomes you want to find out from this week? And then put the PDF or the resources and the video that will explain your resources. This is crucial and important. If you have these resources in term of in presentation slides or PDF, you have to support them with another resources, which is video, or live live video that you have already recorded, so it's fair for the other students who are not able to join, for example, then can watch your video lecture. So this is considered as 2 resources. And also in lab, you need to either give them step by steps, or if you have PDF, then that will also consider as one resource, sorry. And then you might need to give them some exercise. This is not graded one. And then feedback, maybe this feedback is for week 8 in overall. What are the feedbacks? Okay, so these are things that you have to put in your or follow in the ULearn. Otherwise, it will be a problem for us and for you as well. The requirement for you is by fulfilling all the guidelines. For example, I told you have to put outcomes every week and some introduction to the topic. Also in each lecture, if you have lecture, 2 resources. Let's say you have 1 PDF or 1 PowerPoint slide, and then 1 video to explain the slide, and also 1 activity for the lecture. If you have lab tutorial, you need to supply 1 resource and with 1 activity. So the resources can be, video or audio recording, lab notes for lab, And then class activity, anything non-graded activities, either forum chats, whatever, that you never count them in the carry marks. Thank you very much, and I see you next time. All right. Assalamualaikum.